This is a fairy oracle card reading for Nothing is Set. Okay, so I'll go ahead and get into the crystals here that I pulled for this reading that I was drawn to. I have 4 crystals here, so one thing about the number 4 is it's a very grounding number. It has to do with your foundation. So I have aura quartz here, I have turquoise, so there's some throat chakra energies coming in right away. The throat has to do with your willpower, it has to do with your self-identity. And then I also have a couple of heart chakra crystals as well, green and pink. Those are both heart chakra colors. And then my rose quartz here is actually in the shape of a heart. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the first card here. Okay, and I just realized I'm actually using my Heart of Fairy Oracle deck. Normally I use my other one, but this time I felt to use this one. So there's definitely a lot of heart chakra energy coming in at the beginning of this. There were some things right away that came in when I was retrieving the code name. But I don't know if I should get into that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the first card, and I'll get into that at some point. So I'll just move these crystals off of here so I can set my cards. And I just shuffle these until one of these falls out. Okay, so all right, I'm going to go ahead and pull another one before I get into the meaning of that one. Okay, so when I was actually lifting the 2 heart chakra crystals, right away I got this feeling that there was some turmoil going on in the heart chakra. And then the first 2 cards that I'm pulling here are the Heartless Love and the Lady of Sorrows here. I'm going to go ahead and pull another one and kind of see what is this about. Okay, so this card is the Queen of Bedlam. And the Queen of Bedlam tends to have to do with basically some kind of conflict in your life where things are turned upside down in a way. And sometimes this does involve an actual person. This feels like to you it does deal with a certain person, some people in your life, some authority figures in your life, and there's a lot of uprooted energies with this. There's a lot of sorrow, obviously, with this. There's a lot of anger with this. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move into this, the code name. Because when I was retrieving the code name, what I do is with one of the crystals, always at the beginning of the reading, I surround my space in protective energies. And so before I get the code name for the person and I just receive that intuitively from their guides, I just see them surrounded in protective space for the reading. That way, only something positive is going to come through. And often when I do that, I'll bump into some kind of block or something that the person has. So there was a block at your feet. And feet tend to have to do with path. They have to do with grounding. And there was a feeling of, well, some of this has to do with understanding yourself, okay? And this is why I'm also getting these the throat chakra stones. Since, like I was saying, the throat has to do with your identity of yourself, who you are, but a lot of this had to do with the world around you. And that's why there was this name, Nothing is Set. There was a feeling with this block at your feet, which, like I said, it has to do with path. So this can be like your career direction and just where you feel the road that you want to travel down for your life path. Okay, so there was a feeling of confusion with this, a lot of confusion. There was a feeling like there were all these things that were sort of set, things that are set in stone, like beliefs and different things that have to do with not beliefs that you were given on your own naturally, like your intuition. This feels like things that were placed over you. And just different concepts that were placed over you. And ways to view yourself, ways to view the world, ways to view family, ways to view friends, even people in general, ways to view your understandings of the world around you and the way to see it. And it feels like a lot of confusion with that. There's a feeling of religion as well. There's a feeling of that there. And that was something that was also coming up in your mother's reading, this feeling of religion and this sort of passed down feeling of religion that was coming up. And so your guides are just saying nothing is set. There's not one right way. There's not one way to view something. And so a lot of the anger, there is this feeling of anger, but it feels like a lot of the anger, a lot of the sorrow, but especially the anger, it has to do with this feeling like, you know, this was right. You were right. And now there's this like lack of certainty. When you really understand that you can't really live a free and complete life when you are rooted in one set of beliefs, in one way of seeing things, then you can let a lot of that anger go. The sorrow, I feel like that's just something that takes time to heal. But what your guides are saying is that the confusion is actually a good thing. Even though it seems like all this turmoil, even though it seems chaotic and there's this anger about it, there's this frustration, And in some ways, rightfully so, because you were taught these certain things, and now all of a sudden these certain things are being uprooted. So there's a feeling of what do you believe anymore? How do you see yourself now? But that's actually very freeing. When you realize that there isn't one truth, there isn't one direction, and this is for career as well. Not just your way of viewing the world, but also that majorly. When you realize that nothing is set in stone. Part of the reason it's almost like a feeling of like career or something like that is because there's also these feelings like there are certain things that you have to do. When you realize that all you have to do is be yourself and do what works best for you and find your place, and that you're not under anybody else's authority, whether it's a parent, whether it's a human authority figure, whether it is like a deity or having to do with religion, so it's God. When you realize that there's no one truth, there's no right way, then your mind opens up, your heart expands. The world around you isn't so blasé, and that can seem scary at first, but it really is less boring and it's less clouded. So at first it seems more clouded, it seems more confusing because you had all these things set. And you had all these ducks sort of in a row, but they were given to you. So now you get to find on your own if you can step into that, if you can step into that vibration where you realize that there isn't one truth, one right course, one right direction. Then you begin to step into your own self-identity of who you are and really into your own power, your own sense of belonging with yourself. And you know who you are. And then you know what your purpose is. And you let go of all of this confusion. But religion is one of those things where it really, really feels right. Some things really, really feel right. Things to do with God, things to do with family. They can really strike a chord with us where we're certain that they are right. Especially because they're presented in those ways to us by people who are in authority over us, or they're seen that way. So really that's illusional. There's no, higher power over us. There's no authority figure or even parental figure who is over us. No one is over us. We're constantly the ones deciding for ourselves, even if it appears like someone else is, or even if it appears like someone else can judge us or our understanding of something. It really is about us and our choices, our own choices, and who we are. Who we decide to be. So it's about your decisions. And that's what determines the outcome. There's nothing out there saying this has to be the outcome. This is the way it is. And if you don't do these certain things, you're going to be punished in this way. This or that is going to happen. Or if you do these certain things, then something good will happen. You'll be blessed, you'll be favored, and so on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull one last card here. Okay, I'll pull another card with that. Okay, They're just restating this same thing. Your guides are. Okay, so I got the blessing here, and then I got the juggler. So the juggler is balancing all these chaotic things. Everything is in this kind of chaotic, like, shitstorm. Okay, and he's trying his best to balance everything. It's all kind of chaotic, and it seems really out of whack, and it seems wrong, and it seems like it's not in place. But really, really, there is this is the path where everything comes together and finds its real place, and where you find your authentic piece to the puzzle, not what you were told to be, not what you falsely valued, not what you were taught to give a sense of value to, but what you actually feel for yourself. Okay, so that is all your guides have to say for this reading, and our time is up. So thank you very much. Nothing is set, and also thank you to your mother as well for allowing me to do this reading for you, and I truly hope that it benefits you. Thank you very much. Namaste.